Welcome back. It is now September the 13th and we've had just over a ½ inch of rain over the last couple days and evenings here. Ending just this morning, we had some pretty good showers out here by Nobleford. So there's not much harvest going on today, but the weather has gotten quite beautiful now. It's kind of overcast, but about 23 degrees and somewhat sunny. Although you can see we are still getting more rain over there to the west, so it's likely we'll get another shower yet this evening. And down here you can see we got some pretty good patches of Canada thistle going on in this field here, so it is that time of the year to start talking about Canada thistle. You can really see in this patch of Canada thistle we've had some regrowth since it was chopped off by the combine about a week ago. So we've got, a couple inches of regrowth on there now, so pretty much almost any time now we can start spraying, although ideally we'd see a little bit more growth than this. We want the plants to be big enough basically that they're sending sugars down into the roots, because that will take the glyphosate down with it. And glyphosate is basically going to be your #1 tool for controlling Canada thistle here in the fall. Adding dicamba or Lantrell or even 2,4-D, a lot of the group 4s and 2s, will help improve control and uptake in Canada thistle. The other thing that will drive sugars translocating down into the roots and the glyphosate with it is a frost. So we haven't really gotten any frost here yet, but anytime in the next couple of weeks we could pretty much be expecting a frost. And Canada thistle can actually tolerate frosts of up to -10 once it's properly hardened off. But right now, basically it's not hardened off, so -3, -4 could be a significant killing frost for Canada thistle right now. So once we get that first little bit of frost, it's going to start to drive those sugars down into the roots. And after that is going to be probably our most effective time to apply glyphosate for post-harvest treatment of thistles. And we basically want to wait at least a couple days after that frost event, make sure that plant is going to recover and has at least 60% still green leaf matter to spray on. Some of the popular tank mixes that we have for controlling Canada thistle in the fall would be products like Corex, DB878. Both of those will rely upon dicamba to help, as well as, just old school Banville, Lantrell. So products like Eclipse or Curtail M will also have a fit and will help control other perennials in the field as well. Well, with the new rain, it is a great time to be seeding winter wheat. So this potato stubble has just been seeded, I think, in the last couple of days for sure. It looks like some of the seeds just starting to pop. We're at a pretty good depth, maybe a hair on the deep side. I think it's about 1.25 inches. But in this nice, soft, fluffy ground left over from the potatoes, should come up pretty well. And being early enough in the season, it should establish really nice and really help minimize soil erosion this winter if we end up being as windy as we were last year. Here's a canola field that had some good regrowth going on, preventing harvest. It has been sprayed a few days ago, actually late last week, with Reglone. You can see all that green matter is pretty much burning up and turning crispy already, so looking good in here. Couple more sunny days and this stuff is going to be pretty crispy, and then we can get in here and get this harvested. Had a very heavy dew and a temperature of 3 degrees last night, so definitely a pretty wet crop this morning. You can see all the moisture here on this volunteer canola down at the bottom. This was canola stubble from last year. So we're definitely not going to be back in the field here for a few hours, but hopefully this afternoon it's supposed to warm up. Hopefully guys can get going again, get some of this wheat and stuff off, because it's supposed to rain again tomorrow, so it'll be nice to get a few more acres done before then. Well, here's some dryland winter wheat that got seeded a couple weeks ago now, and it is doing real good. You can see we got nice clear rows. Everything is greening up quite nicely, and the kochia is still dying off. We're now mostly at 1 and 2 leaf stage. Really looking not too bad so far. Could be a little bit thicker in some spots, but you can pretty much say that about any establishing cereal field. We'll see what it looks like in another week. We're supposed to get more rain tomorrow, so that'll help bring up a few more. The safflower is getting swathed this week, so this is sitting in some nice looking swaths here, ready to dry down, and maybe in the next week or so we'll see this get combined. Here's the other side of the potato operation. Trucks from the field come in and unload. Runs across a series of conveyors, takes more dirt and rocks and tops out. And then we got our sorters over there, taking out anything the machines miss. And then they're going into storage here. Here's a big conveyor going all the way down into the storage. So it's going all the way to the back right now, because they just started filling this one. And here's the sorting machine, hard at work, removing tops and bits of dirt and rocks. Well, it's time for early silage corn to come off. So this stuff is coming off, looks pretty good so far. I do a ProLiant trial in this field, so I got to take samples from treated and untreated sides. Well, on this longer season 58 AM corn, we're still not quite there yet, but it is coming along quite nicely. We're still probably at least a week or two away from silage timing, depending on what frosts get. And there's still quite a bit of milk in these kernels, so they definitely need a little bit more time and some more heat to finish developing. A couple of them, like this one, are just barely starting to show first signs of dent. Well, down here by McGrath, winter wheat is getting seeded, so perfect timing. We're supposed to get some rain tonight, so the more acres that get done now, the better. We'll have decent moisture to get it up and out of the ground. Well, here you can see we have some harrowed canola stubble, and you can see for the most part the stubble is still intact and doing pretty good, which is going to help us with erosion and help with capturing snow during the winter. However, the ground disturbance here on the surface is enough so that we're going to have really good seed to soil contact on any canola that didn't make it into the combine. So that is going to give us much better emergence on our volunteer canola as soon as we get a rain shower here. That way we can get more of it frozen to death this fall, and we don't have to worry quite so much about it in the spring. Here at this pivot point we have a nice patch of weeds, and this is mostly foxtail, and foxtail can be a real pain to control in crop. In fact, it's almost impossible. But this time of the year we can really knock it back. A heavy shot of glyphosate in your pre-burn before winter wheat, or just, you know, at post-harvest, as well as products like Focus, which have residual control on bromes and foxtail. So if this is getting seeded into winter wheat, you hit this with Focus, tank mixing some 878 for thistle control, and the Focus is going to have residual control on emerging foxtail. Well, the forage corn and barley is doing pretty good, growing pretty rapidly and looking pretty healthy. You can see we are pretty much knee height now on some of these leaves, so we're pretty much at the July the 4th stage. However, it is September the 15th, so we have limited time left in the growing season. Tonight, for example, our forecast has us down to 3 degrees above freezing, so we're getting pretty close to the end of the growing season for stuff like this. As soon as we get a frost, she's going to be done, but hopefully we can squeak by another week or two yet. Silage pile coming along nicely. I'm just waiting for this truck to dump, and I'm going to take my second sample. This is from the ProLiant side for this truckload. The sample itself is looking pretty good. It's nicely chopped and all the kernels look to be cracked, so that is pretty much ideal. So now I've got to take this to the lab. Here's some fall rye that's been seeded, and it's looking pretty good. Depth is about 1 inch, which is about ideal for this. It'll get it up and out of the ground right away, get it competitive with any weed regrowth that occurs. Seed drills going over there, and everything is looking pretty good. Fall rye is an excellent crop for this area, taken off as an early silage in June. It tends to have pretty good tonnage and kind of leaves you open to have a second silage crop of oats after that as well. So very good for feedlot management. Well, this scene really shows the power of irrigation in southern Alberta. These oats were seeded last week of June for a silage crop, and you can see here, I mean, that's waist high on me. That's a good 4-foot tall oats. They're in milk stage. They're doing really good. As you come this way, you can see right where the pivot stops, and you can see how poor that is there. And I mean, these oats were seeded at the same time, and they're not even, you know, 11, 12 inches tall. You know, they're heading out. There's nothing here. This wouldn't be worth even harvesting. So it really shows you how important irrigation was on a drought year like this. Well, we're now Friday the 17th, and it is kind of overcast and cool here this morning, but we're going to try to take this canola trial off. This is my canola variety trial. It's got CP21T3P, a couple of Invigors, and a DeKalb in here, and even some UA Gold way on the back side you can't see because it's swathed. So hopefully this afternoon we'll get this done. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.